I later live stream today, but y'all, I had to get my affairs in order. Okay. I had to clean up my place a little bit here. Because I don't think I'm gonna be staying here much longer. Because y'all already know my work situation, and y'all know that I go in and out of wanting to work and do ultrasound. And y'all know I be bouncing around all over the place. And so I feel like I found a pretty good gig, and I'd still be able to create content at the same amount that I'm doing now. So we'll see. But don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I probably look a little tired because I just got done extracting my skin and like getting my skin together. So I was tempted to do my skincare while I talked about this, just like while I talked about this with y'all, if I'm being completely honest. If y'all want me to do my skincare while I'm doing this, tell me and I'll go grab all the stuff. But anyway, um, I get this question so often in regards to women asking me, like, I come from a male centered family, my coworkers are male centered, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what do I do? Or like, how am I supposed to navigate these types of encounters with women, when they're male centered? And I feel like this is an important topic because you're going to run into more male centered women than not. You know what I mean? Like, we're in our own little bubble. We're in our own little sphere here on the internet. And then, honestly, if you were to take the pool of women that consider themselves to be not male centered, you probably could slash like 30% of that population out that really aren't non male centered. Like, they think that they're not male centered, but if it were to come down to it and they had to put their money where their mouth is, they would actually show you and prove to you that they're still very much male centered. So it's really a very, very small percentage of women that are not male centered. So this is why we have to talk about this, because this is going to be a normal everyday encounter for you. And I think it's very important as you're going through your level of ascension, how to deal with these things in the aftermath and the things that come along with it, not allowing these things to kind of bog you down and kind of be heavy on you. Okay. So, my first piece of advice is that I will never deal with a male centered woman. Never. I will never, ever, ever deal with a male centered woman. Male centered women are dangerous. They're dangerous. If they haven't shown you a level of danger that they could potentially do, you don't want to find out the level of danger that they would potentially put you in by them being male centered. They're very dangerous because they'll pawn off their friends, they'll pawn off their children. Like, there are women out here that don't have a college degree, that they don't have an education, they don't have a career because of a man. There are women out here that don't have a place to live because of a man. There are women out here that don't have a good relationship with their children because of a man. So, when you really think about the magnitude of how far women are willing to go in order to be adjacent to men, they're not going to look out for you in the event that you actually need something. So, I personally, I'm not dealing with somebody male centered, and I really don't think that you should either. I really don't think that you should either. And the thing about it is that, like, it's bigger than decentering men because we live in a patriarchy. So we live in a world where everything is centered around men. When you go to the doctor, the prescriptions that you're given, the medications that you're given, the care, your care plan, the medical schooling, this is all based on men. This is all based on studies done on men. The car that you drive, that is all done based off of using men as test dummies. Okay? Every single thing that operates in the world, your politicians, majority of them are male. Everything that's pretty much been created has been for a man by a man. So it's bigger than just I'm not going to marry, I'm going to be child free, I'm not going to sleep with men anymore. It's bigger than that because everything else in the world is based off of a man. So if you like, I know women that are so male centered, they don't believe that postpartum depression is a thing. Like one of my old friends, she worked with a group of people, mind you, that work in ultrasound. Honestly, these women work in ultrasound. They were her co-workers and they were talking about postpartum depression. And these women had children and they're married and they don't believe that postpartum depression is real. These are women that have children that work in ultrasound and they said that they don't believe that postpartum depression is real. That's a very small, like a very micro way in which someone being male centered it could really, really make an impact. Because what if you have somebody taking care of you? What if you have somebody taking care of you and you're suffering from postpartum depression and then you go to the doctor and then you're thinking that, oh, well, she's a woman, I could put my guard down. I could put my guard down. And then she's over here like, oh, postpartum depression isn't real. Like that's probably all in your head. Yeah, because that's been written off. That's been written off as a reason to tell women under medicine because medicine has always been male led. So anytime that women have complaints about something, your complaints are going to be dismissed. I've had so many women talk to me about this. So that's just an example for me to explain to you. It's bigger than that. Okay. It's bigger than your proximity to men. You're going to pay attention and realize how deep your internal misogyny runs and how it does impact every part of your life. And how when you don't start from the root of decentering men, you're not going to unplug yourself from this matrix of all of the other things that are ingraining internal misogyny into you. You're not. So all of this stuff, it's really subconscious. Okay. Honestly, it's really, really subconscious. So one reason why I feel as though you shouldn't deal with male-centered women is because male-centered women, they see men as God. They see men as gods. They see men to be the most important type of people. Women that aren't male-centered, you have a sense of self where you see yourself as a goddess. Like you see yourself as like the creator, right? You see yourself as the leader. Right. And so it's very hard to have conversations with women that are male centered because the thing about it is that you'll have conversations with them and like they're constantly trying to circle the conversation back to a man. They're constantly trying to circle the conversation from how they feel about themselves to how a man would feel. And so this is why the girl that went viral on TikTok, she's an overweight woman. She's dark skinned. She wouldn't be considered objectively beautiful. She got ripped a new one on TikTok because she said that a man came up and approached her, asked her out for a coffee date. She declined the coffee date. And then she went out and she took herself to McAllister's. A ton of women were talking about her. A ton of women were talking shit about her because they just couldn't fathom the fact that someone that looks like her wouldn't be male-centered to the point that she would accept a coffee date from a man. And it's because she's self-aware. She's made videos talking about, she's like, I earn 6 figures. She's like, I'm not changing my body. She's like, my body is going to be the way that it is. She said, I'm not changing my body. And she said, in order for her to be in men that are in the same tax bracket as her, she would have to invest more money into changing her appearance. She would have to lose weight. She would have to get surgery. There would have to be more of an investment that she would have to make to be able to get men that are in her same tax bracket. And she's like, I don't want to do that. A man isn't important to me enough for me to want to do that. I understand. And she said, I'm not going to settle for someone that isn't in my tax bracket either. So she's like, I'm aware of the fact that I'm not willing to do the work to potentially get someone on the same level as me or above. And guess what? Because of that, I'm not going to settle for somebody less than me either. that takes a level of awareness where you that's what it looks like to decenter men, because when you decenter men, you center yourself, and then you start having a higher amount of self-awareness. You start understanding what you can and you cannot handle. So it gets very hard, because when you have male-centered women, they're over here trying to reach the goal of getting married, and they're over here trying to reach the goal of having a child, because all they see in their world is men. All they see in their world is their proximity to a man. When you're not male centered, you're focused on, okay, if I have a child, I don't even like being around people. I don't even like being around people at work. Why would I want to go on ahead and have a child? You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to go on ahead and have a child and do all that stuff? What would be the point? You start thinking more in regards to yourself as opposed to your proximity to women that are male centered. Male-centered women are constantly going to project it onto you, and they're going to constantly try to make it seem like you're crazy because you're self-aware enough to know that you don't want the things that society is trying to tell you that you're supposed to have. Like they're going to make you feel like you're crazy because you don't want the same things. And I kind of feel like you don't get any benefit from that, because I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to be friends with people where I constantly have to defend myself. I'm not trying to be in close proximity with people where I constantly have to talk from a point of view to get them to understand. They're just never going to understand. You know what I mean? And like, I don't even do the whole trying to convert. I don't even do the whole thing of like trying to convert these male-centered women to becoming male-centered. It's going to take for these men to hurt them, and it's going to take for these women to lose everything, and it's going to take for these women to get dragged through the mud for them to realize they were on the wrong side the whole time. So I don't even reach out a hand to extend to them. I just say, you know what, I'm so sorry to hear that, and then I go on ahead and I keep it moving. They're gonna, unfortunately for most women, some women are literally going to have to die miserable. Some women are going to reach their grave and they're still not going to reach the realization that they wasted their whole life being so fixated on what they meant to a man. Some women are just literally, that's going to be their whole life's existence. Not my problem, and it's not yours either, okay? Another thing too, women that are male centered, why I don't feel like you should deal with women that are male centered, subconsciously, these women are going to try to sabotage you. They're subconsciously going to go out of their way to compete with you, because they are so focused on the male gaze. They're more concerned about how men perceive them as opposed to the company that they keep of women around them. And so a lot of these women, especially if they're women in your family, you know what I mean? I feel like this is very common with women in your family. This is why like the weird uncle keeps being a weird uncle, because the sister will just like defend him. The mom will defend him. Like no one's gonna believe you. Like just because he's a man, no one's gonna listen to you just simply because you're not a man. And the thing about it is that you can't really like strategize or grow around someone who's going to like leak your mindset into it being patriarchal. Like it's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna be able to happen. So when they're constantly trying to like compete with you in if y'all go out and it's like a friend and y'all go out and they mention something like, oh yeah, like these men are looking at me. I literally just watched a video yesterday. This woman goes out to Vegas with her friend. Mind you, she's blind. This woman is blind. She goes out to a club with her friend. They're out on the dance floor. They're dancing. There's a guy that ends up starting to dance with the blind friend or whatever. And, she's having a good time. You know what I mean? Like she's doing like her thing. And I guess the guy that danced with her was like, I think he was like a professional athlete or someone like well-known, in athleticism. Her friend got so upset and so jealous that her blind friend was able to attract somebody that she wanted to get attraction from, she left her blind friend on the dance floor and she left the club. She literally left her blind friend who's already vulnerable. She left her at a club. So this poor woman had to take her cane out and show somebody her cane, and then ask somebody if they can and then ask this man if he can walk her down to the entrance of the club and then help her get an Uber. So thank God the man was nice enough to go on ahead and do that for her. So now the Uber comes, and so now she even said in the video, she's like, so now I got to get in an Uber and I'm vulnerable. So now I got to ride in an Uber with a man that I don't know. Thank God she made it home safely. The friend was waiting. The friend was there at the house that they were at. And she obviously had asked her, like, why did you leave me? Why, like, what the hell happened? She was like, well, I wasn't having any fun. And I wasn't having any fun. And so I decided that, you know what? I just didn't want to be at the club anymore. So I just decided to leave. So this is why it's very, very important for you to really gauge the importance of a man in a woman's life. Because if that woman, if she has men on a pedestal in her life, if she sees you getting rewarded in any way in regards to a man, it's going to be hell to pay if you decide to stay friends with her. They're going to put you in a predicament where they're going to make you pay for the fact that you got the attention and they didn't. Like, it's really that serious. It's really that serious. Like, I'm not even that close with my own cousin. I'm not even that cool with my own cousin because she came at me crazy in regards to her boyfriend. Like, we're not even cool over the male-centeredness. We're not even cool over that. I can't tell you how many friendships I've had to end because the women were just way too male-centered and they wanted to make a competition out of absolutely nothing because men were involved. Like, you know what I mean? And then you'll have women, you'll go out as a group, and then like women are going to be scoping like the type of man, like how many men approached you, the type of men that approached you. If it's not the type of man that approached you, it's the profession that he is. Oh, well, where does he live and where does he work? And blah, blah, blah. They're just going to make these little competitions out of fucking nothing. Things that I'm not even caring about. So it's, in my opinion, it's damn near impossible to be friends with a woman that is male-centered. Another thing, too. Another reason why I don't think that you should be friends or really deal with anyone male-centered, including your family, is like the girl with the coffee date. They're going to constantly gaslight you for having your standards high. But then when they get in a relationship with a man, they're going to constantly complain to you about how the man is breadcrumbing them. They're going to constantly complain to you. He won't give me flowers. He hasn't called me back. He won't introduce me to his family. He won't propose to me. But then they'll look at you and look at you crazy for being single. Yeah, you don't have a man because you're too picky. You're too masculine. You're too this. But yet you're begging. You're complaining to me, begging about all of the things that this man is not doing for you. You see how that makes literally no sense? And if your mind isn't strong enough to really, really not internalize these things, then what happens is that you start questioning yourself. You know what? Maybe I am too picky. Maybe I am too masculine. You'll start questioning your own reality when the way that you've been doing things, it's been working for you. You haven't had to deal with any trauma. You haven't had to heal umpteen times because you keep dealing with a man and then the situation ends and then you deal with another man and the situation is, you're not having to constantly restart and re-heal yourself. Right? And then another thing too, women that are male centered, they're not creators. They're not creators at all. A lot of women that are male centered, they're always living in this way of like reaction. So it's always about like how the man's going to feel, what the man wants, what the man thinks. They want to build their reality. They want to build their reality based off of the reaction with the man. Whereas women that aren't male centered, you have your own desires. You have your own desires of creation. It's not going to be rooted in what a man is going to think or what a man wants you to do. That's another thing too. I can't stand it when women make comments and they're like, no man's going to want you with all those tattoos. No man's going to want you with all that muscle. No man's going to want to be with a woman that's a pole dancer. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they like. You're not going to be able to attract a provider when you do XYZ. I am my own provider. So I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care about any of that. I have to, at the end of the day, I'm going to get old and I'm going to have to reflect back on my life. And I'm going to have to think back on the decisions and the choices that I've made and how my life looked based off of me making those decisions. I'm never going to look at my life and look back and be happy playing the role of my life based off what a man's standards are. I'm never going to look back at my life and be happy and be like, I was the perfect wife. I was the perfect mother. I was helpful to all. No, because it's very rare that women can say those things about themselves and then not also say at the end, and no one was appreciative. Or that they were appreciative. You rarely hear women say that. You constantly hear women say that I'm a good wife, I'm a good mother. I put everyone first. I put myself last, and I'm sick of being used. I'm sick of constantly being held to this standard that I need to perform. These women turn out to be very resentful. They turn out to be very, very resentful because they thought that they could control reality, thinking that, oh, well, if I just do what these men are telling me, and if I just create my reality based around what men want and react to that, I'll be able to get everything I want. No. And then they get mad because they got cheated on. Sleeping, having sex with him when you didn't want to have sex with him, it still got you cheated on. Cooking and cleaning when you didn't feel like cooking and cleaning, still got you cheated on. Going 50-50 with him, still had him using his money and spending it on another woman. You deciding to have a child and then have more children, even though you didn't want to have those children, still had him cheating with somebody else. Still had him not being caring, still had him not being compassionate. So none of that stuff is going to make a difference. If you don't want to do those things on your own free will with the possibility that a man could still act like a man, then why are you doing it? There's not going to be any guarantee. Women have to live in this fantasy land and think that life is so black and white. Life is not black and white, and women know this. But if they agree to this and they actually accept the fact that my actions in regards to a man is not going to guarantee me the outcome that I want, then it would force women to actually self-reflect and actually do the fucking work. Because it takes a lot of work to get to the point of you being a non-male centered woman. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of sitting with uncomfortable truths. It takes a lot of getting rid of your codependency on your friends, on your family. It takes a lot to get to the point where you're like, you want to know what? I actually like myself and love myself enough. It actually turns out that none of these things even do anything for me. Because I truly feel like in order for you to be a male-centered woman, you have to be the weakest version of yourself. You have to be the weakest version of yourself. Every time I look back on my life and I think about all the times that I was male-centered, I did not like myself. I didn't like my weight. I didn't like my hair. I didn't like my skin. My finances were fine I didn't like my level of confidence. I had a low self-esteem. That was on my resume whenever I was male-centered. That's what my resume looked like when I was male-centered, because you're looking for a man to replace all of those other things. You're like, you want to know what? I'm fat. So I got to find a man that likes me fat, because if he likes me fat, I don't have to care about me not liking myself being fat because he likes me fat. And that's just the honest to God truth. That's just the honest to God truth. You have to find a man to like the things about you that you don't like about yourself. That way you don't have to do the work that is required to heal those parts of yourself to actually like you, because it takes a lot of effort. Getting a man to make you feel better about the inadequacies that you have, that's easy. Which is why it hurts so much when these men cheat. Which is why it hurts so much when you no longer can be in the relationship. Oh, because guess what? Now you don't have anyone anymore to boost up your self-esteem, or at least pretend to boost up your self-esteem, because you don't want to do the work. That's really what it comes down to. You're just refusing to do the work. You want to be lazy and take the easy way out. That's only a short-term solution. That's only a short-term solution to be able to get through these issues, because these men at some point, they're going to remind you that they didn't like you for real. They're going to remind you that they were only there for you to benefit them in some way. They were never there because they liked all of your flaws. That's like the number one thing that men like to lie about. I love you for all of your flaws. I like you natural. I like it when your hair is not done. I like it when you don't have any makeup on. Bullshit. They're going to tell you that, and they're going to have a fucking following count, nothing full of fucking IG baddies. Nothing full of fucking IG baddies. No, they know that women are highly critical. They know that women are highly critical of their beauty, because it's been manufactured for you to have a low self-esteem. That's why the pendulum is always swinging one way to the complete opposite way with beauty standards. They wanted you to be BBL baddie from 2012 to 2025, and now all of a sudden they want you to look like Kate Moss. Yeah, they constantly want you to do that because they need to have you have a low self-esteem. That way men can come in and say, I don't care about all of that. I love you for who you are. I love the natural version of you. That way you let your guard down. You let your guard down and you're like, oh, I don't even have to worry about that because he likes me and he loves me and he cares about me and, yada, yada, yada. They're going to tell you anything. And then women will be like, why are they cheating on me with somebody that looks the complete opposite of me? Because that's who they really are attracted to. Okay? Kate Moss is like an old school 90s model. She was the one that brought in heroin chic. So like the models being so thin that it looked like they were doing the illegal substance, like really, 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 really thin. And really, it's just about control. Honestly, it's just about control. They need to have control over how you view yourself, and they have to constantly be the voice in your ear that you have to think about when it comes to how you're going to move, how you're going to dress, how you're going to do all of these things. Yeah, because when you look at how women looked, from 2000 to 2011, oh God. Like when I look at pictures and they said that like Britney Spears was fat and they're like, Britney Spears, fat, pig. I'm like, dude, this is a normal woman. Like when you see these women that are considered plus size, these women have flat stomachs. They have hips. They're over here talking about plus size. This is a woman with hips. She stores fat in her hips. There's nothing that she can do about that. Not everybody is made to just be up and down. Like Like, what? Like, that's not natural for everybody. This is why I stopped caring. I stopped caring. I'm going to make sure I'm healthy. I'm going to make sure my hormones are intact. I'm going to make sure that I have enough muscle to burn my fat. And I'm going to make sure that I have enough energy to keep myself sustained. I'm not going to sit here and be all Ozempic up. I did bodybuilding and I had no period. I had no goddamn period. I was miserable. I was taking all of these illegal substances. Gosh, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, so how do we deal with these male-centered women? Okay. How do we deal with these male-centered women and keep it cute and keep it respectful? You know, the people in your family, the people that you work with, et cetera, et cetera. The first thing is that you have to keep emotional distance, okay? You can be cordial, but you have to teach this woman that she cannot trauma bond with you over men. Okay? So that when women get to talking about men, as soon as they ask the question why, they're trying to trauma bond with you. They're trying to trauma bond with you. Most of the time, women don't want to know why a man is doing what they're doing. They just want you to tell them what they want to hear. They want to give you they want you to give them some magical answer so that way they can feel better about the situation. So what I like to do, redirect the question to something else or just simply disengage. Okay? You're not a therapist. You're not a therapist to anyone. You're a mirror to everyone. Okay. And the thing about it is that once you get to the point of decentering men, you're going to put a mirror up to a lot of people. So naturally, you're going to lose friends. Naturally, you're going to have a tougher time relating to your family. You're going to have a harder time in the real world once you decenter men because you're going to put the mirror up to people. And a lot of people don't want to see their reflection. So when these women are asking you why, you got to ask him that. You know, and you say it in the nicest way. You got to ask him that, girl. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, but I don't know. Or you could just go on ahead and you could ignore them. You can go on ahead and you could ignore them and not say anything. Sorry, I can't help you. You know, say that I got a lot of stuff going on. I really can't help you. Okay. Another thing too, I don't waste my time judging these women that are male centered. And the reason why I don't is because we were all male centered at one point because they've conditioned you to be male centered. And it's like what I said earlier. Life experience is what's going to convert a woman from being male centered to non-male centered, if it ever happens. Honestly, it's going to be life experience. It's going to take enough life experience for them to finally realize, you want to know what? Yeah. They're going to realize, like, you want to know what? Maybe these women were onto something. Like, because I don't really have anything to show for what it is. So I'm really at the point where I'm like, you're just unhealed. I'm not going to preach anything. I'm just going to let my life be a reflection of how it is that I live. Because these married women with children, they love to tell single women that have no children, oh my God, you're just glowing. Oh my God, you just look so well rested. Oh my God, you're going on another vacation. Oh my God, you bought another handbag. They're going to constantly give you these levels of positive reinforcement that are going to let you know, like, okay, clearly they see that I'm doing something right. obviously they can pick up on the energy, because every time it's married women around and they see me and they're like, wow, you're so free. There's so many things that you can do, and yada, yada, yada. Like, even she said with some sarcasm. Exactly. This is why I can't, like, I don't ask women with husbands and children. I don't ask them what they did for the weekend. I mean, I don't like small talk. I really don't care about what anyone did for the weekend, if I'm being completely honest. If I'm being completely honest. But I don't really want to hear about, like, you taking your children to Busch Gardens or wherever people go, or I don't know, the apple orchard or anything like that. I don't want to know about any of those things, so I don't even ask them anything. I want to check in with the single and child-free woman so she could tell me about her trip in Italy, her trip to Greece, or, wherever it is that she's going. I want to have those conversations, right? Because they just see that you glow different. And if I could be quite honest, there's never been a woman that's married with children that I wanted to switch places with. Never. There's never been a woman who I saw that she was married, I saw that she had children, and I thought to myself, that's the life that I want. A lot of the time when women do have that mindset, it's because you're projecting things onto these women that you don't have proof of. Okay? You're projecting things onto them that you don't have proof of. You see these women at work 8 hours a day. You're not there at home with them. You don't know what's going on. You're just projecting that everything is positive in their marriage. Everything is going well in their marriage. You don't have any proof of that. And them telling you that everything is perfect and them showing you that they're happy is not proof. That's not proof at all. They could say whatever it is that they want to say. All it takes is a smile for someone to believe that you're happy. That's all it takes, is just a smile. It is a lot that people are hiding behind their smile that they'll never tell you, especially women, because they have a persona and a reputation to protect, and their own ego to protect, based around and revolving around the relationship. So the last thing that they're going to tell you is what's actually going on. They could be holding their relationship with chewing gum. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Self-convincing that their relationships are good. Like, I brought this girl up before, but I remember, because if you guys don't know, I'm a traveling ultrasound tech. That's what I do outside of creating content. I'm on a break right now. I'm off of assignment right now, but I do travel contracts, and obviously people know that when you travel for work, the money's pretty good, right? So there was this place that I was working at in Georgia, and there was a girl that they ended up hiring as staff, and she had told me that she used to be a traveling ultrasound tech, but she stopped being a travel ultrasound tech because her and her man got married. She was like, me and my man got married, and he doesn't want me traveling, and so I'm not traveling for work anymore. Mind you, this is in Georgia. They don't pay ultrasound techs shit in Georgia. Okay, they don't pay them anything in Georgia. All right, it's sad what they pay them. So then I asked her, this was another thing I noticed too. I'll get to the second point in a minute. I asked her, I said, oh, so what does your husband do? Oh, my husband is a musician. And I said, so your husband must travel then for gigs, because it's not very often that musicians can get travel gigs or get gigs that don't require travel. She says, yeah, my husband does travel gigs for him to be a musician. And I said, Okay. And that's all I said. Another girl that I traveled with, another woman that I traveled with, it was the same hospital. The place in Georgia that I worked at, I was in Pick Me Central. I was in Pick Me Central. These women were like Swiffer to dust. They were like a Swiffer sweeper to dust, just pulling the dust in, just pulling the dust on in when I was in Georgia. Everywhere I looked, there was a dust magnet. So then there was another girl. She was young. So I kind of was like, okay. Yeah, it was. Is Piedmont like the only hospitals that are in Georgia? Because the Piedmonts are freaking everywhere. So there was another girl. And so I saw her wedding ring on. She was married. And so she was bringing up like her husband or whatever. And so she was like, yeah, like I travel for work. And she was young. I think she was like, why? I knew exactly. Piedmonts are everywhere. It's a goddamn Piedmont everywhere in Georgia. They're all over the place. So there was another girl. She was telling me how she's been traveling, and I think she was like 22 years old. And I said, "Oh, okay, that's cool. What does your boyfriend do?" And she gave like a very vague answer. She was like, "Oh, he just kind of finds work wherever we go." And I was like, "Okay." And then she also told me that her husband picks her up and drops her off. When she told me that her husband picks her up and drops her off, I'm like, this motherfucker ain't working. This motherfucker ain't working. She's the sole provider. She's the sole provider for the both of them, using her travel money to sustain the lifestyle of both of them. I don't want a man that bad. I'm never gonna want a man that bad. He sings at the nursing homes. He clearly doesn't work. I remember when I had another girl that I worked with in Arizona. Her husband was a stay-at-home dad, and he would play video games all day. Even a man that we worked with had told her, "Your husband sucks." Your husband sucks. He's just at home playing video games all day. He's just at home playing video games all day. Like the fact that you're traveling for work and your husband is a stay-at-home dad and all he does is play video games all day. No. Absolutely not. I remember one time, right? I had a guy who we were like kind of dating, and I knew him. I'd known him for a while. I went to high school with him. I was like, so if you could do anything like outside of what you do for work, what would you be doing? He was like, oh, I want to be a stay-at-home dad. Sir, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I quit talking to him after that. I was like, stay-at-home dad? Absolutely not. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't like telling men that I'm in nursing school. LOL. They see it as a ticket. Girl, tell them that you're trying to get your CNA certification. Just lie and be like, yeah, I'm trying to get my CNA certification. Like I had one guy ask me, I remember when I went and I got this gym membership. He was like, what do you do for work if you don't mind me asking? And I'm like, I just work. I just work. He was like, oh, okay. Like, you don't want to say like what type of work that you do. I just work. What's up with these male romance scammers? My sister's friend lost 4 apartments to 4 ex-husbands during divorces, and men have the audacity of saying women are gold diggers. Damn. Damn. I hope your sister never allows a man. I hope she never talks to a man again. I hope she never talks to a man again. Damn, she has a terrible track record. I would love to make up a story about what I do for work. LMAO, I'm actually a party clown. It's like, what do you do for work? Actually, I sell used tampons. They'll never talk to you again after that. If you want to scare them away, say, yeah, I actually sell used tampons. They'll never talk to you again. Someone please say that to a man if he ever asks you what you do for work. Please, please, please tell him that. That would backfire. They would probably ask to buy sickos. Black women mainly always get asked what you do for a living, or how did you have to go to school for this? Oh my God. And when I'm working in ultrasound, I can't stand it when people ask me that. I can't stand it when people ask me that. And guess what? I don't even answer the question. I call them out. I'm like, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me if I had to go to school for this? I just was curious. I have a daughter or a niece that's curious to know like how long the schooling is. Okay, you could have Googled that, and all you had to do was ask me how long the schooling was. Not ask me if I had to go to school for this. Like, no, doing ultrasound, and I'm not, and it's no dig at anything where there has to be a certification, but my profession doesn't require a certification. It requires a degree. Well, and a certification. Sadly, when women are deeply male-centered, there's this damn moment knowing no truth can break her free of the illusion until she's ready to hear it. Yeah, and it kind of sucks too. It kind of sucks because a woman's life is only going to be good so far as she's willing to not be male-centered. I mean, that's really just the harsh reality of it. As long as a woman is male-centered, her life is always just going to be full of sacrifice, struggle, and turmoil. Because men have that as a requirement in order for you to deal with them. They don't want to be in your life to make your life easier. They don't want to be in your life so that way you cannot have to do anything and like rest and chill and be lazy. No, they want to see you. They want to see you working. They want to see you working to the bone. They want to see you tired and exhausted and working hard. No, thank you. Okay, no, thank you. Another thing with male-centered women, child, I put up so many energetic boundaries. I put up so many energetic boundaries. Like, don't talk to male-centered women in general, but please don't tell male-centered women what you're doing. You're starting a business, you're owning a home. They're going to constantly project, well, why would you get a home? Men don't like it when women own a home. Well, it's don't you think it's kind of masculine if you own a business? You don't need to hear it. You don't need anybody putting that onto you. You don't need to be hearing those things from women. Don't even tell them anything. Don't even tell them anything. They're going to constantly be projecting their fears onto you. Okay. And another thing too, like I only pour into women that are ready to actually like rise up and they have like proven that they've put in the work. You know what I mean? Like there's that quote, and it says, the teacher appears when the student is ready, right? Because the student, they have to be willing to learn in order to see somebody as a teacher. The teacher could be there, but if they aren't actually ready to learn, they're not going to even care about anything that the teacher is saying because they're not open. They're not open to evolving and growing and learning. So I only pour into women that actually are like ready to rise and they're ready to ascend and they're ready to go on to like the next trajectory of their life, right? And the thing about it too is that I feel like the best thing that you could do as a non-male centered woman is to create a soft life for yourself. Because I know for me, the life that I built for myself, I don't have to constantly be working. I don't have to constantly be working. It's crazy to me that these women are married and they're like, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get a day off. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a day off. We have the kids. I have to do this. I have to do that. Like, when these male-centered women be telling me all of the obligations that they have because they're married and because they have children, when they tell me that exhaustive list that they have, child, I be getting exhausted for them. I be like, damn, just you telling me that. Just you telling me that exhausts me, child. Cause baby, I only like to work 9 months out of the year. Okay. I only like to work about 9 months out of the year. I don't feel like doing anything else. These jobs will be looking more appealing the more disgusted we are with men, girl. Girl, before we know it. I wouldn't have kids if I had to work either. That makes no sense to me. The rabbi is trying to convince me to get married and have children. Oh, God. I work like 3 hours a day. I love that for you, queen. I love that for you. Why are married women working? Owning a business and keeping your money to yourself? Yes. Working a 9 to 5 and married? Hell no. I don't understand it. I'm so marriage is a job. Isn't that what the married couples say all the time? Marriage requires work. Okay, why would I work 2 jobs and then one of them being unpaid? Why would I sign up to take on an unpaid job? If marriage is so much work, that's stupid. If I want to work, I'll just go pick up a second job and make money. Because the married folk love to say that marriage is work, marriage is hard, marriage requires discipline and tenacity. And okay, if I want to practice my tenacity and discipline, I'll go on a diet. Okay, I'll work toward getting a 6-pack. Okay, I don't need to get married and involve the law and involve children and involve all of these ridiculous things in order for me to test my patience and my tenacity and my discipline and stuff like that. I don't need to do all that. Okay? Like, no. A wife will pursue a degree. Her husband will remind her, you aren't better than me. Yep. That's the reason why the men are like, we don't care about your degrees. We don't care about your degrees. And it's like, I can tell. I am going to need to get very solid about what I think because the rabbis are coming after me now, girl. What are you going to do? Marriage wouldn't be so damn hard if men were reliable, responsible, well-meaning humans. I know, and that's a lot for them. You're asking for the equivalent of $1 million for a man to do that for you. Exactly. What kills me is that they created marriage as the ownership of women, and it was a transfer of ownership between father to son, when in reality it's a transfer between mother to fucking wife. Because the wife is the one that's having to do everything. Ooh, a friend of mine is married to a divorce lawyer. He owns everything. Yeah, man. My dad gives me stories about the lawyers that he knows because he cuts he cuts the hair of some lawyers. Oh, they're sinister in marriages. They're sinister in marriages. I would never marry a man, but there are just certain professions of men I would never marry. I'll never marry someone in law enforcement. I'll never marry someone that's a lawyer. Never. She said, I just discovered Princella's channel. What are your thoughts on her content? Is she the real deal? Keep shining bright and beautiful. Honestly, this is how I look at it, okay? Every content creator is going to pretty much have skeletons in their closet that if you were to hear about them, you weren't going to like. And I think that's not only content creators, that's every fucking human. That's every fucking human. You're just more in a more vulnerable position as a content creator because obviously people can dig up your past and they can find out things about you, and then other people can expose you. So you're in more of a vulnerable predicament. Outside of anything personal with her, you cannot take away the facts that she did lay down with like the scientific basis between like why men are the way that they are, why they behave the way that they behave. Like you can't take that away from her despite all of the things. I haven't watched her content in forever, but like her older stuff is really good. I mean, her contribution is definitely, in my opinion, her contribution is still well worth mentioning in the decentering men community, you know? Lawyer here can confirm the men are diabolical. Yeah, definitely not a doctor either. Any profession where they can assume a lot of power, no, thank you. I'm going to come write everything down and come to them with facts. This is going to be a project. Oh, God. Please tell me how that goes. Girl, they going to ban you. They're going to ban you. They're going to be like, oh, no. Oh, no. Someone asked me if I would have their baby for 100K. I said, heck no. When it comes to content creators, my biggest piece of advice is just like just take out the meat and go on ahead and just spit out the bones. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna like every single thing that people, you know what I mean, do, or whatever lifestyle they may have had before, or whatever like mistakes or things that they might have made before. I kind of just take what's applicable I kind of take what's applicable and like leave the rest. You know, there's never going to be a content creator that you agree with everything that they say. That's impossible. What I don't like is how she speaks to her followers and swings her weight around. That doesn't take away from the value of her message, though. Yeah, no, listen, I know exactly where you're coming from. Aw, thank you, Diamond. And I don't have My uncle is a lawyer and in law enforcement. His first wife abandoned him and their two sons, and he just spiraled and almost unalived himself with his mom and children in the house. Girl, they can't handle shit. Like women will be here and be like, I've seen a post and it was like men are unaliving women, and then a guy commented under the post and he was like, well, women are divorcing men. How can you compare the two? This is how you know that men don't even have the will to live. This is how you know men don't have the will to live. In their brain, they rather get offed. They rather get offed than to have somebody leave them. I haven't posted the video on here yet, but I posted the video about andropause. I posted the video about andropause on TikTok and it gained a lot of traction. And believe it or not, there actually were a decent amount of men that agreed with me. There were a lot of men that had agreed with me and they were like, you want to know what? You are right. This actually does make a lot of sense. I'm going to upload the video. I'm going to upload the video probably tomorrow because the video's gotten a lot of traction. The video's gotten a lot of traction. I haven't talked about Big Sean and Jhené Aiko. I'm looking through the comments. I'm looking through the comments on the video. Most of the men had agreed with me on that video that I made about andropause. But so wait, is this in response to Big Sean like going out with another woman? Because I think that was the last thing that I saw. Was there anything new? I just want to make sure I'm reacting to the right stuff. Okay, so I'm assuming that's really what happened. I guess it wasn't news to me because I knew that he wasn't going to marry her. So when people are like, react, 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 um, I knew that he was never going to marry her. First of all, like let's come back down to reality, okay? First thing, he's a black man. All right, he's a black man. Expecting a black man to get married, you're already asking for a lot. Okay, even when it is their quote unquote preference, you're asking for a lot. They don't want to marry their preference no quicker than they want to marry a woman that isn't their preference. Okay, black men are averse to getting married. Okay, they just are. Point blank, period. Okay, you have to think of it like this. Big Sean is a black man. And when black men are in Hollywood, when black men reach a level of fame, they end up dating or marrying women that look a certain way. I don't think that Big Sean wanted to marry Naya Rivera because he was attracted to her. I think that Big Sean wanted to marry Naya Rivera because that's when his career was on a better it was on a better projection. I don't have the belief that a large majority of men, especially black men, I don't believe that a majority of black men are choosing to marry women because they actually like them. I'm sorry. Big Sean was giving opportunists. Okay, because Big Sean, he couldn't cross over into mainstream and then stay mainstream. He couldn't. He did not have that ability to be able to do that. For a lot of men, marrying somebody that, because I mean, Naya Rivera was on Glee. You know what I mean? And Glee was very, very successful. What better way to be pushed out by being married to someone? Why do you think Naya Rivera didn't want to marry him? She most likely saw what the fuck was going on. When women don't want to marry a man, it's because they know something that we don't. I mean, honestly, it's very, very rare that women decide, like, you want to know what? I'm not going to go through with this. She knew something that we don't. She knew something that we didn't know. Point blank, period. So that's the reason why she didn't go through with the engagement. Ariana Grande is a man eater. So Ariana Grande, she was never going for that. Okay, she was never going for that. She's a man eater. The thing about it is that Jhené Aiko, that's the only person, in my opinion, that it appeared to be in Hollywood that was even really attracted to Big Sean. It doesn't really look like he got a lot of traction with a lot of women of like a high caliber in order for him to, I guess, have a level of relevancy, in my opinion. And so I think in his brain, he was like, well, Jhené Aiko, you know, she does have like a decent amount of traction. They did collaborate on an album. They would like hop on each other's songs or whatever. So they obviously catapulted a relationship through that. Essentially, these men don't like it when you like them. I mean, it's really that simple. These men don't like it when you like them. They don't like it when you like them. And so essentially, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I can get some relevancy by dealing with Jhené, even though I don't like her. Okay, and she likes me. I'm just going to give her what she wants and do it until I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's just convenient. It's just convenient. At this point, I think Big Sean has just accepted the fact that he's completely he rode the wave. Okay, he rode the wave fully of like being adjacent to women, and his career is over. There's nothing more that he can do with his career. Jhené has a baby, so Jhené is obviously slowing down with her career. There's nothing more to gain. There's nothing more to gain from their interaction, and he was never going to marry her. He was never going to marry her for what? He doesn't want that to be a part of his aesthetic. He doesn't want that to be a part of his aesthetic, because then at that point, he's not active in the music industry. She stayed active longer in the music industry than he stayed active. So the thing about it is that honestly, men pay attention to these things. Men pay close attention to these things. Big Sean, you could tell, like, his name is Big Sean because I think he's very short. I think Big Sean is only like 5'6". And you know what they say about short men, okay? Jhené Aiko's career kind of like outlasted Big Sean's. I highly doubt Big Sean wanted to get married to Jhené Aiko, number one, because he doesn't want to be married. Number two, he doesn't want to be seen as Jhené Aiko's husband. Big Sean most likely wants it to be the other way around, right? he wants everyone to see Janae Aiko being Big Sean's wife, not the opposite way. Yeah, I think he's really short. Let me look it up. He's either 5'6" or 5'7". Okay, he's 5'8", which is still pretty short. Oh, but then some people are saying, okay, see, he got 15 different heights on here. He got 15 different heights on here. I don't know what to believe. Somebody on Reddit said that Big Sean is 5'5". They got him 5'7.5" on one. Then people, the rapper born Sean Michael Leonard Anderson says he is now at least 5'10". This is now 2021. Sir, okay, how old is Big Sean? Okay, Big Sean is 37. This interview was in 2021. You didn't fucking have a growth spurt. You didn't fucking have a growth spurt at goddamn 34 years old. Just lying. Just lying. You type in Big Sean height, it's like 4 different heights coming up. He's probably about 5'7". He's probably about 5'7". So you already know his ego is big. You already know his ego is big. And he's like, no, I can't get married to someone whose career is more successful than mine. I can't get married to someone who's still doing music and I'm a has-been. I mean, what was the last hit that Big Sean had? Ass. Like, come on. He's probably like, no, I don't want to, like, Ariana Grande is little. Ariana Grande, I think Ariana Grande is like 4. I think she's like 4'11". She's so small. She's little. Oh, she's 5'2". She's very tiny and he doesn't look that much taller standing next to her. Yeah, the short one's got to have somebody tiny. The short men have to have someone tiny. That way they could feel bigger. She said, I love to be a man eater, harvesting all that energy. I have met him twice and he is a nice man. Actually, I am 5'9". He is very much 5'5", and I have a photo. I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm like, no, I remember early on, I was like, no. Big Sean said himself that he's like 5'5". Y'all think he's packing? I don't either. Short men that short, they tend to not have anything in between their pants. From experience, from someone that actually prefers short men, because I'm only 5'1". Considering someone that prefers short men, he ain't got nothing down there. Calls himself Big Sean because he is not big anywhere. I mean, I'm only 5'1". It doesn't take that much for a man to be taller than me. But the height, like I've had men extremely tall. Like I've had men 6 foot, anywhere between 6 foot to 6'4". That's just too much for me. I'm 5'1". I don't need that much, man. I don't need that much man, okay? And I dealt with a guy that was like 6'2", one that was 6'4". Child, the bedroom activities. Thank God I had a tall bed. Thank God I had a tall bed because that was the thing. If we had to do it on top of the bed or the kitchen or something, he was so tall. I was like, people would look at us crazy. I think somebody said that, let me see. She's a Pisces, so that makes sense. I'm not big on using sun signs. I'm not big on using sun signs, but short men are mean. I tried to play the cool girl and date only short men, and I couldn't last more than a couple weeks. I don't know. I am also 5'1", and I went with a guy that is like 6'5". I felt like I was wrestling daddy long legs. Chow, it's too much. Those men that are really tall, I can't I can't do it. And I'm not trying to look up at no man. Like, that was another thing too. My neck was hurting all the time. My neck was hurting all the time. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm over here trying to think. I'm over here trying to think about the meanest person that I dated and what their height was. The meanest person, it's so funny because the meanest person that I dealt with was 5'10", and he had the nerve to lie about his height and his weight. He had the nerve to lie to me about his height and his weight. He even lied to me about what area he lived in. Virgo women tend to not be male centered. I have the same experience. I'm a Gemini rising too. Oh, my back. Oh, it was definitely a 5'8" guy. That bitch was jealous of me and how I spoiled my niece and nephews. Yes, we're smart. The meanest person I've ever dated was 5 foot. Second meanest was 6'1", but he was bald, so that might have added to it. Ah, I mean, we all know. This is why I don't go off a sun sign, but at least in my experience, the sun sign Virgos that I know, they tend not to be male centered, but your sun sign is not reliable. Your sun sign is not reliable at all. I would not use your sun sign to gauge any of that stuff. Bald men and short men are no longer on my radar unless you're literally Jeff Bezos' spy. I've only dated one bald man. Hold on, I'm getting comfortable. I'm kicking my feet up. I'm kicking my feet up. I've only dealt with one bald man. Only one. And he was cool. He was cool. No, I had a sugar daddy that was bald. Actually, I had a sugar daddy that was bald. And he was, I don't even know. He looked like a milk dud, if I'm being honest. He looked like a milk dud. And you see straight up their nose. Yeah, when they're too tall, when the men are too tall, chow, my neck was a large concern. I'm like, I'm not trying to look up like that at you. I don't think I've ever dated a bald guy. Yeah, I've never had an aversion to a bad guy before or a bald guy before. I've never really I never really cared about them being bald, but then again, I don't attract men often that are bald. I don't attract them often. She said, I'm with bald and short. I'm old. Ciao. Listen, as long as them funds aren't bald, as long as them funds aren't bald, I'm Gucci. Honestly. As long as them funds ain't bald, I'm fine. Oh, thanks for joining the membership. I am gonna put some more stuff in the membership channel on the membership tiers here on YouTube. I have a few like exclusive live streams that I did that I need to upload. I uploaded one like 2 weeks ago. As long as they're giving money, I need something. I need something to compensate for that bald head. I know if you bald, you got money. You ain't got to have money for. There is no excuse why a bald man is broke. Okay? There ain't no excuse why a bald man is broke. Sir, you don't even have to get a haircut. You don't got to get a haircut. You ain't got to get a do rag. You ain't got to invest in no brushes. You know how much money these men are saving being bald? Ain't got no excuse for them to be broke. Exactly. Ain't got to buy no shampoo. Ain't got to buy no conditioner. They saving a lot of money being bald. So ain't no reason why you ain't got no money. Why do men think they look good when they are broke? It's so weird when they think they look good and they're just a brokey. I always feel embarrassed for them because child, they mama made them feel like they were the prize, and Pick Misha makes him feel like he's the prize, even though he doesn't have any money. And so now he's over here like, you know what? I am the prize. Money don't mean nothing. I could be the prize without that because everyone done pumped up their ego. It's like, sir, you're not the prize. You're not even honorable mention. Ugh, I can't stand a stingy man. I can't stand a stingy man. Nothing is gonna make my coochie drier than the Sahara Desert than a man that's not generous. The prize in the Cracker Jack box is better than what these men got to offer. Because Cracker Jack popcorn actually tastes good. At least I get something tasty to get to my prize. These men want to drag you through hell and back, and they supposed to be the prize at the end. At the end of all that, no, thank you. Mm-mm. Stingy men are the same ones that wear an oversized designer tee and skinny jeans. Men with handbags. I have a question. Why would my friend, she's a girl, she had talked to my boyfriend and my boyfriend didn't say nothing? I feel they sleeping together. If you feel it, then they're sleeping together. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Y'all, should I drop my homegirl for hanging out with my ex? She's married, so I don't know why they would even speak. Um, I don't know. I will let her husband handle that. I would, if it were me, I would let her husband handle that. Like, child, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's even happening. She said, "Nah, you're supposed to share men like the Kardashians do. You pass them around. Let the man step in." Yeah, I mean, obviously the friend is obviously cheating with the ex. I mean, I kind of feel like that's a given. I don't really believe either that I don't really it's just because my opinion is so unpopular. It is. It's because my opinion is so unpopular. Um it's obvious that like the friend is cheating on her husband with the ex, which is why I say that like, child, I would have the husband, I would be having the husband intervene. I would have the husband intervene because I'm not getting cheated on. I know that's probably terrible, but I'm not the one getting cheated on. Her husband, the husband should probably that I look at it like the husband can take care of that. I would distance myself, but I would have the husband take care of that. I wouldn't talk to her no more. And who knows, maybe a burner account, maybe you make a burner account and you let the husband know. Okay. Maybe you get a screenshot and you send a screenshot to the husband on a burner account. Okay. The reason why my opinion is so different on that is because like especially in stripping as the strip like in the strip club, it's in really poor taste to hoard a customer. It's in really poor taste to hoard a customer. Now, if you have your regular If you have your regular whatever, you know what I mean? Um, but I never would get mad at like my regulars or whatever, like if they would spend money on other women. Like it just kind of is what it is. I'm not entitled to their money. Just me solely. I'm not entitled to their money. And if I could help other women make money with my customer, I don't mind sharing the wealth. And the thing about it is that these men have community D anyway. Like, I don't know. The way I look at it is like these men's D is community D. They done share you little like honestly, they done shared the community D with somebody that you know anyway. That's just that's just my opinion. They're sticking it everywhere they can anyway. She's not telling me. I found out through a friend's Instagram story. It was weird because when we were dating, she talked so much trash about him. Oh, that kind of changes things. That kind of changes things. Cause like one time I did sleep with someone. They weren't in a relationship, but I did once sleep with somebody that my cousin had slept with. It was years later, and I had just told her. I was like, "Yeah, I actually did sleep with so and so." They were never in a relationship. They only slept with each other. I was like, "Yeah, I actually ended up sleeping with him," because honestly, I forgot. It was years later. I'm not over here tallying. I'm not over here tallying all the women that this man done had sex with, especially because they weren't in a relationship. If they were in a relationship, that would be different. I would be able to remember that. But they had like it was just a hookup. They might have hooked up like twice. Chow, I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. And my cousin, she wasn't too happy about it when I told her. And I was like, girl, I legit forgot. Like, you slept with him back in high school. You slept with him back in high school, and it was years ago. They just had a little hookup or whatever. Yeah, I didn't remember any of that. She said, damn, not him sleeping with the family. I know. That shows how unimportant that guy was. When I tell you, like, honestly, he was a glitch in time. He was a glitch in time. I didn't care about him. A family affair. But the fact that she didn't tell you is sketchy. At least I told my cousin. Okay, at least I told my cousin. And the thing about it, I just said it so nonchalantly too. That's the thing. That's the thing. I just told her so nonchalantly. I'm like, yeah, girl, I slept with so and so. And she just got quiet. And in my head, I'm like, why is she quiet? Anything wrong with what I did? Completely unaware. Completely unaware. I had no idea what I had done. I was like, yeah, girl, I had slept with him, and she got all quiet. And then years later, she had brought it up, and she was like, yeah, remember that time you slept with so and so? Like I was upset with you that you had slept with him. And I was like, I didn't even think anything of it because y'all weren't together. Y'all weren't together. Y'all hunched on each other like 2 times. Y'all hunched on each other like 2 times. I completely forgot. She had went off to college and was hunching on other people and everything. She was at FAMU having a ball. She was at FAMU having a ball. Okay. Getting her back blown out, going to all of them parties with Q dogs and all of them. I didn't even think she was caring about the has been back home that I was hunching on. Okay. She was over here having a ball at FAMU. And I'm over here back in our hometown. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I'm like, she's over here having a good time at FAMU. I wasn't thinking about any of that. It must have been some unforgettable eggplant. Ciao. Ciao. Just letting you know you have a best friend in Los Angeles. It's me. Aw, thank you, Keisha. Damn, Queen, your life is so interesting. I'm always curious and love hearing it. I don't know. Personally, I'm not a fan of how you get attached to Community D. Unforgettable indeed. Yeah, he was a basketball player. Number one, he was a basketball player. He was sleeping with like a ton of other women, and it's just kind of like, I'm sorry. Like, when a man is sleeping with a ton of women, I'm not claiming that. Me personally, I'm not claiming that. So I don't know. I think the reason why I forgot about it was because it's not somebody that she was in a relationship with. It was just someone I was just like, he's just sleeping with everybody. She wanted to have proximity. Exactly. I was like, yeah. I was like, he's just some basketball player. He's just some basketball player. And then guess what? He got washed up and he's a black man. He washed up and he had a baby with a white woman. He ended up having a baby with a white woman. Let me see if he on Instagram. Let me see. Nope, he's not. But yeah. Yeah, girl, unmarried. He got a baby mama. He got a white baby mama. He was friends with me on Facebook. He was friends with me on Facebook. She said I'm gonna pull a card on him too. She got the same black man. Exactly. She got a man that's been used up. She got a man that's been used up, except he used her for her ability to procreate. He used her for her ability to have a baby. But yeah, at least I told my cousin, if it was someone and they didn't tell me that they slept with somebody and they found out and you found out from social media, that's a whole nother thing. Like, bitch, the least you could do is tell me. The least you could do is tell me that you're talking to somebody that I used to deal with, especially if it's an ex-boyfriend. The least you could do is tell me. Okay? If you're sneaking, you're doing something that you don't want people to know. I was shocked football players drove downtown Chicago in nice rides. That was a while back. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I miss Chicago. I do. I miss Chicago. She is male centered. All she talks about is men. He should only be used for one thing, not marriage material. Exactly. Stay at home husband is unacceptable. What are you doing with all that testosterone? Oh my God, I would be terrified. They circle you. Oh my God, I would be so scared. Could you imagine a stay at home husband cheating? Let me put the baby away. Let me put the baby away and make and get the bottle. Let me get the bottle ready and put the baby away, and then you can come over. let me let me go on ahead and let me get the bottle ready. And you can come in, you can come in like a half an hour. He's over here. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine stay-at-home dad cheating with electrician that comes to house? Let me make sure my wife is working late. Ring ring, honey. Are you working overtime today? Are you staying over? They got you staying. Oh, they got you working hard overtime, huh? I had a man drive 2 hours to see me, and his wife just gave birth. I didn't know he was married or had children at the time. Girl, they don't care. Oh god, don't get me started on Pop the Balloon. Oh god, don't get me started on Pop the Balloon. It's terrible. It's terrible. And the thing about it is that, like, Brian I don't watch Pop the Balloon, but, like, a couple weeks ago, it ended up coming on my feed on some social media app. And Brian is short. Brian's only like 5'6", and he cannot get a match with anybody. He cannot get a match with anybody because he is so insecure about his height, and his demeanor is screaming abuser. His demeanor is screaming abuser. Any tips on getting rid of a turkey neck? I think I'm just stressed out. You're probably stressed out, honestly. You're probably stressed out. But you could get some collagen and massage your neck. Yeah, he's aggressive as hell. I don't understand why they keep bringing him back on the show. Obviously, I do understand why they keep bringing him back to the show because it's good for shock value. That's the reason why they keep bringing him back. But yeah, you definitely lost me as a follower when you started doing Pop the Balloon reaction videos, but I came back though. Yeah, I did 2 Pop the Balloon reaction videos and they were poorly received. My followers didn't like them because it's such low level content, but there were people that were asking for Pop the Balloon content. So it was either give the Pop the Balloon people what they wanted or not do Pop the Balloon at all because I really hated creating that content. And so I was like, you want to know what? I don't want to do Pop the Balloon anymore. I don't want to do Pop the Balloon anymore. But they keep bringing Brian back because it's just shock value, but it's at the expense of women. He's literally being mean to them. Like, no, thank you. I didn't know what Pop the Balloon was until you talked about it. Yeah. I'm too freaking nice. I'm too freaking nice. She said, let them dusty black men do reactions. And you want to know what's so crazy? You want to know what's so crazy? Men will complain how they have such a hard time getting money. All you have to do as a man is make reaction content. Men don't have to have an original thought in their brain to be able to make money off of content. Literally, all they have to do is make reactionary stuff and have the correct target audience, and social media will reward them. Seriously. I'm like, y'all have too many excuses for me. Because social media, especially YouTube, rewards the fuck out of men making reaction content. They don't have to provide anything to the community. All they have to do is play around on the internet and survive. Then we have to audition for their pathetic asses for relationships. No, thank you. Yeah. All this is the reason why they think that men that make content for women is pandering, because that's what they do. That's what they do. So they're like, "Oh, you're agreeing with women. Your content is for women. You're pandering." Yeah, because that's all y'all do on the internet. One man went on there and he had a portable wireless speaker in his car for a day. Oh God. She said, "Attention, black women, stop dating and effing black men. They are petty and cheap. 75% of them." I'm just hollering because it's so true. I don't watch reaction content because if I cared what a Dusty had to say, I would just subscribe to their channel. Facts. Yes, Anton Daniels, his reaction content is just so, it's just like they just say the same things over and over and over again. It's like, oh my God, can you come up with a better analysis? Queen, are you helping people? Are you open to helping people become a content creator? It's better people than me, I kind of feel like, to help you get into the sector of content creating. Like, honestly, I don't know who you could go to, but I feel like you could help. I feel like there are other people out there that could really, really help you better than me. Because to me, it's just generic information that I have to offer. Like getting into a niche and provide something of value. You know what I mean? Those are the only pieces of advice that I could give. Ew, he had a broke speaker, then took her out to eat at the local movie. How old are we? I love being neurodivergent. So this guy clearly is trying to recruit me. He's trying to recruit me for like a talent agent or whatever. And so he says, "Hey, I just came across your live. Are you in an elite creator program agency? You'd kill it." Mind you, I didn't say thank you. I said, "Live on what platform?" And nope, mind you, I'm only live on YouTube. This message got sent like an hour ago. I said, what platform? And nope. He said, it's on TikTok. And no worries. I'd love to get you into the one that I'm in. It's an opportunity directly through TikTok. I could either send a pre-recorded video of me explaining it, or we can hop on a call and talk more. Which would you prefer? I said, but I wasn't on live when you messaged me. I said, LMAO, all right, let's see what you're trying to sell to me. Send the pre-recorded video. I'm gonna say, obviously you're trying to recruit folks. I'm gonna say, obviously you're trying. Obviously you're trying to recruit. I don't need the. I'm gonna say I don't need the. I don't need the banter. I messaged him again. I said, obviously you're trying to recruit. I don't need the banter. I'm hollering. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I'm blocking this guy. He has a lot of followers. He has a shit ton of followers. But his profile, he's over here talking about Christian music and stuff like that. No. Sorry. If you looked at my profile, you would never try to have me be a part. Like, no, I'm sorry. That doesn't even align. That doesn't even align with what I'm trying to do. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He has like 7 million followers. Like, he has a shit ton of fucking followers. He has almost 8 million followers. But he had like a video with Christian music and talking about worship music. No thanks. No thanks. It could be a psyop. It could be a psyop. Thank you. 7.5 million. There's no way. And I just looked at his content. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. The Christian Dusty. Like, even the baddest of bitches have like 1 million followers on fucking on TikTok. Yeah, I blocked him. I blocked him. Hell no. It's a psyop. It's an operation. It's a psyop. It's an operation. They're trying to do conversion therapy on me. They're trying to do conversion therapy on me, y'all. And the thing about it is that, like, okay, so there's a woman in the same niche as me. She did reach out to me. Because sometimes I will get, so what I think it is I think it's a profile that's mostly bots. And they're trying to have me be a part of like their little, they have like, how do I explain? They have like elite creator programs over on TikTok. And so sometimes pages will send me the link to join. They'll just send me the link to join. This is just a different way in which they're trying to do it, is what they're trying to do. Because there is one woman who we're in the same niche. She's the unpunishable woman on TikTok. Her content's really good. If you use TikTok, you should check her out. She had reached out to me and she was very formal and she sent me a voice message and she was like, "Hey, um, I want to collaborate. I want us to do like a live stream festival. I want us to do a live stream festival, next month because you can make money. You can make money by doing like the festivals and things like that." And so she was like, she's like, "I want to collaborate and like, you and other content creators that are like kind of in the same niche, we can do like a festival." Then the man was stealing candy at the movie theater on the day. Oh, hell no. Operation is sending me to orbit. Align with the handmaiden tales. He want to change you. Exactly. Like, as soon as I hear that Christian music, as soon as I hear that Christian music, I'm like, mm-mm. They trying to do hypnosis on me. That's what that Christian music is. It's that hypnosis. I view the Christian music just like how religious people view secular music. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The secular music has its spell work in it too. Okay, let's just keep it real. The secular music definitely has its spell work in it. But no. Exactly. God spell. No, thank you. No, thank you. My memory is good. My memory is good because someone came in the chat earlier and I blocked this person. I blocked this person in the last time that they commented on my channel was back in February. It was back in January, February, because that's when I was in Boston. This individual was trying to send cash apps. They were trying to send cash apps. So what they would do is they would send me money on Cash App and then they would charge it back real quick. And they kept doing it like 3 fucking times. I'm so glad that that person popped back up on my chat because I blocked their ass. She said, "Y'all need a good vacuum cleaner as a weapon for all this dust." I'm glad that they came back in the chat because I finally had the opportunity to block their asses. Thank you. Like, you either got the money or you don't fucking got it. Don't be sending me money and then charging it back. I'm not broke, bitch. You didn't make or break my day sending me some money. These people are crazy. These people are crazy. And got the nerve to ask about my dating status after they just did that. Child, what the French toast? I don't know how they can do it, but this person was able to do it. I don't know how they did it, but they were able to do it. I think they like refund their request or like they say that the request was accidental. There's some gospel music on, but that guy had like Hillsong. That guy had Hillsong on his profile. I'm like, where, if you're gonna put some Christian music, could you at least do the Christian music with some soul in it? Just saying. The creation of patriarchy was under the act. Child, I look at it like this. Okay, I look at it like this. Women, if you want to rely on like a basis in religion, you can. But for me personally, I don't really think that it's a requirement for women. Women have everything inside of them. Women are the divine leaders, and women understand what they should and shouldn't be doing. I don't really need a religion to tell me what's right and wrong, what rules I should be following, what rules I shouldn't be following. I'm a capable person. I know what the fuck I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. Do I have a belief in things that are bigger than me? Yes, I do, because I feel like that's important. But I don't really believe that it needs to be something that's like this solidified thing. You know what I mean? As long as you understand that, okay, yes, there is something like greater than you, but you also can match the frequency of that thing to be great at the same level, you good. Like, I was watching a video talking about crumble cookies. I had no idea that crumble cookies was started by two Mormon men. Did y'all know that? And I knew that there was a reason why I didn't like crumble cookies. I knew there was a reason why I didn't like crumble cookies. I had no idea that crumble cookies was started in Utah by two Mormon men. In the Mormon religion, you can't even drink coffee. You can't even drink coffee in Mormonism. And so because everyone has their vices, what do you think that they replace the fucking coffee with? Yeah, they replace it with a ton of sugar. So you got Mormons making these fat ass sugary ass cookies to replace the fact that they can't drink coffee. Yeah, they can't drink really anything that's like purely caffeinated. And they can't drink tea either, especially green tea. They really demonize green tea and coffee in Mormonism. It is a no-no. And so they essentially say, well, you want to know what? Since we don't have this coffee, just get high on sugar. I'm like, what the? Like, I'm sorry. Like, when I hear about these different religions and these different cults, you could say, when you hear these things, you're like, some man just was bored and started coming up with shit. Like, when I hear about all of these rules and stuff like that, some man was just bored and just started making shit up. Exactly. They don't demonize empty calories. Like what? Like black coffee is very, very beneficial. Like black coffee, it can regenerate your liver. It has natural like antioxidants in there. Like like when they say in like what is it, like Islam in like those like Middle Eastern countries, like when the woman is on her period, she's deemed to be impure. And so she's not allowed to like go worship. She's not allowed to like go inside to pray. Like that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. I'm sorry. That's insane. So you mean to tell me that men can have dick cheese and have STDs and not shower and just be funky and do whatever they want to do and just be infested, and they can go in and they could pray, but because a woman is bleeding, a natural thing that her body is required to do, a natural thing that she has no fucking control over, she can't go in and fucking pray and worship because she's bleeding, because she's deemed as impure? That's crazy. In the Mormon book, it says black skin is a curse. Fuck y'all. Like, oh my God. She said, what is that cheese stuff you talk about? Girl, you don't want to know. It's nasty. It's one of the reasons why men get circumcised, because they weren't cleaning the skin around it. And so they were developing smegma. It's so disgusting. And it's like cottage cheese, and it was like around their pee-pees, and they weren't cleaning it. Obviously, they do it for religious reasons too, but they also started doing circumcisions for hygienic reasons because, yeah, I agree. They're so jealous. They're so jealous of the fact that we could create birth and they can't. She said, I really don't know. Girl, now you know. So if you ever have to come across a Peter Whacker and you see white stuff around the Peter Whacker, girl, stay far, far away. You don't. Thankfully, I've never had to be around that. I've never had to be around that, but I've been in healthcare for 8 years. I know what that smell smells like. I know what that smell smells like. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's the reason circumcision originated in hot climates. Yeah, child, they wasn't clean. They wasn't hygienic. They tried to, what they tried to do was they tried to hide it under it being religion, when in reality, the motherfuckers was just unhygienic. So they had to create a palatable reason to normalize it. They couldn't just say men are dirty. So we have to have circumcision because men don't know how to clean their pee-pees. They don't ever want to actually say what the truth is. They're like, "Oh, it has to be for religious reasons." What the fuck is religious about taking some penis skin off? What religious are y'all donating the excess skin to some god? Are y'all sacrificing the skin for some god? Like, where is this skin going? Like, Mhm. They try and say it reduces the sensation. It's like, child, they'll come up with anything. I'm not trying to see I'm not trying to see no damn pigs in a blanket. That's what they remind me of. Pigs in a blanket. But God talks to Moses through a bush almost. Y'all are so funny. I'm hollering. But y'all, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to get off of here. Don't forget to like if you haven't liked the live stream. And once it's uploaded, comment, let me know your thoughts. Keep the male-centered women far, please. Keep them far, far away. And just keep enjoying your journey on your ascension and, dismantling all of this lovely misogyny that they've had everyone conditioned to believe. And have a good evening and get your beauty sleep. And don't let these dusty stretch. Ooh, I almost said don't let these dusty stretch y'all out. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do that either. Don't let them stress you out or stretch you out. Okay, either one. And yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow.